And we are live. Week 6 coming up.
My
NFL
God, I
fantasy.
know.
I know 5 weeks down, Soto. 5 weeks down. Seems like a lot has happened in these 5 weeks. So much shit has happened. Just in football in general. It's,
Yeah.
I mean,
I think I saw that there's only 9 weeks left in the fantasy football season.
uh, yes, till playoffs. So that's not
Yeah,
including,
yeah, yeah.
not including play. Well, yeah, there's 14 weeks. Um, So yeah, definitely only 9 weeks, but only 14 weeks. But so much has been going on, and it's funny because you texted me something earlier today, and I heard it literally. I was on my way home, like, oh, I got to text Soto this when I stop, because we've been talking about teams and trades and how this affects fantasy, and I don't know how much this will affect fantasy, but yeah, Joe Flacco signed with the Cincinnati Bengals. What are your thoughts? Let's just start with the news of the day. What are your thoughts on that at the moment?
I'm happy being a Chase Brown owner. I don't know where the fuck I'm going to put Chase Brown, but it seems like Flacco would be the kind of guy that would do checkdowns to his running back. Um, I don't know. Like, do you think that Jamar Chase and Higgins are gonna all of a sudden be better? I mean, Flacco's not like he's not great. He knows how to play football, right? Is that he's a professional. That's pretty much it. The upgrade is that he's not going to shit his pants.
Yes, he's not Browning. He's not going to brown
He's
his
not browning
pants.
his pants.
He's not brown.
Yeah, he's
Correct.
not.
He's not browning his pants. Because in our league, and we've talked about this from time to time again, it's very difficult because there's two reasons. One, it's 16 friggin' teams.
I
And,
hate it.
people who talk
I
about
hate it.
real world waiver wires, I'm like, no, come to our waiver wires, bitch, because it ain't shit. You got to get
It's so
lucky.
sad.
It is, but I actually got lucky with my tight end because I kind of made a smart decision, so I got to figure that
Yeah,
out.
what the
But
fuck was that?
because he's a tight end one, see, a lot of people just look at like tight ends here and there. I kind of look for the shit teams with that's how I got Juwan Johnson. I had to drop because I thought he was questionable and I didn't think he was going to play, but he did wonders. But a lot of people don't think about these not great teams and tight ends. I'm like, this is a tight end one. First of all, the Saints. And I'm like, he's sitting on free because when I picked him up, he was free on the waivers. So I'm like, yeah, fuck
Mhm.
it. I need a better tight end because I think I had the Tennessee tight end at that time. And yeah, he did great, but then he got injured, and I was a little worried. So I'm like, I got to pick someone up. And I looked, I'm like, oh, he had a decent week. He's showing up like, and he's kind. I know they run a two tight end set, but he's kind of the favored. So yeah, and he scored. I watched that game. He scored a garbage touchdown. Like the guy should have tackled him. It was like a huge missed tackle. And he kind of like, all right, I'll take 3 steps into the end zone. I don't care. So yeah, I mean, I still lost, but that's the thing. When I look for tight ends, it's almost like because we look at it later rounds, but look for the guys that are technically starting and getting their the shares, the snaps, because yeah, they might not go off,
Yeah.
but they are, like you said, they are a check down. That's what you're kind of looking for. And you know what, he got 2 touchdowns last week. Great. He's gonna kind of keep going on that roll. So yeah, I'm like, I can ride this guy for a little bit. So I always look for that. I always like rookies, but tight ends are like sneaky because you know, you can have your Kelseys, you can have, your Brock Bowers, but shit happens. Tight ends are tight ends. You just got to ride the good, the wave. So yeah, I was happy with that pickup. And right now, I'm kind of going back to the whole Flacco thing. Yeah, I have Higgins, so he'll do better. I think, so we'll just see. As if you held on to Chase Brown, which I know you did, it's gonna help because now
Mhm.
it's like, okay, they're not gonna just focus on stopping. Other teams are gonna focus on stopping the run and be like, all right, Browning, throw. So now Flacco, you're
Yeah.
right. I mean, he's not gonna light it up, but you know he'll make some throws. So Higgins and Jamar Chase all of a sudden just like, okay, there's a little more value now. Will Bengals become a playoff team? No, I'm sorry, no, they won't. That's just my opinion right now. So, but I was kind of happy because yeah, Browning was not doing shit.
I mean, they had to do something. I think who's their backup? Like Rippin or some shit like that.
I have no idea. I don't
I mean,
know.
they were. I mean, unless they're gonna like toss the season, like they weren't. You had to do something, and what Flacco is Is he standing in the way of Shadur Sanders
No, because
on the
they
Browns?
started the other guy. Because you got to remember, Cleveland picked up 2 rookies in this past draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm. Dylan
was he
Gabriel, right?
standing in the way? Maybe. But the other one got, I forget his name, got the start first before Shadur Sanders. I think there's just a lot of issues with Sanders, and he might even be injured. I'm kind of looking this up now. The funny thing is, I mean, again, if this is rumors, is when, because the fall of Shadur Sanders was the most hilarious thing to me in this past draft, because he was acting like he was going to be a
Yeah.
first rounder, and he ended up going in the 5th round. He was picked second by the Browns, and that's why, I don't know, there had been some deal with Dion. But yeah, Dylan Gabriel, he's the one that he's the starter. So we'll see. I mean, what the Browns have nothing to lose. Start your rookie, see what happens. So I mean, yeah, get something, for Joe Flacco, and I think they sent Joe Flacco in a 6th rounder, got a 5th rounder. So they basically got rid of money. And I'm sure he wasn't making a lot. So I don't know. We'll see. And you know what I mean. If Shadur Sanders gets his chance, we'll see how he does. But yeah, the Cleveland Browns, ever since they got rid of Baker Mayfield, has just been more and more of a dumpster fire. So
My boy, my sweet, sweet boy, Baker Mayfield. I am so happy to be riding that train because he's just a man. I love it. And Ibuka is having a great year. Wish I would have picked him up, but Baker Mayfield is just one of my favorite football players. And I remember in the night of the draft, we talked about it. You actually predicted it because you knew I was going to go for him.
100% when he was there, I'm like, oh, this is because it was, you saw the
Yeah.
QBs starting to come off. And, when it's 16 teams, like, shit, that was the time. And when I saw Baker and you, I'm like, he has to. Like, this is just like the perfect spot.
It
Yeah,
really was. And I mean, I wanted to, like I said on draft night, I wanted to have him on my team so I could root for him. Um, I don't know what I'm going to do when I have to sit him. I'll figure that out. Somebody's going to get dropped. But anyways, to go back to the whole Flacco and the Browns thing. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good for Cincinnati. What, they're 2-3, they're second
2-3.
division in the AFC North. The Steelers are right in front of them as I see right now. So I mean, there's still chances for them because like Burrow's not out for the whole season, right? Isn't he? Like
Technically,
maybe.
no.
Well, actually,
Because he actually can make it
right.
back. Well, it depends how the Bengals season goes. Because he will make it back. And this is where people who have a Jamar Chase might want to hold depending on where you are at, because he can make it back for the
Yeah.
fantasy playoffs. But if the Bengals are nowhere near a playoff spot, or just like if they just,
Yeah.
there would be no reason to bring him back. Like, okay, let's just rest him the rest of the season. But if the Bengals are in a fighting chance, even if it's a game behind, yeah. And that's why if you have a Jamar Chase, people are still on Burrow. Because if you make the fantasy playoffs and then Burrow comes back
Mhm.
and you have that, you're golden. You kind of have that spot back because Jamar Chase will go off. But yeah, I think that'll depend. So can Flacco kind of win a few games here and there? Yeah, he's going to be a better option. So I'm kind of curious where this offense goes. They still don't have a defense, which helps the offensive because they're going to be shooting it out. I mean, if you look at what they just did, yeah, Jamar Chase right at the end of the game just had 2 crazy stupid touchdowns. Like they just weren't even on him. And then I even think Higgins got something at the end too. So I was like, oh shit, okay. But that's kind of what fantasy is. Like I just said about looking for tight end ones on shitty teams. That's the other reason having
Mhm.
like wide receivers on shitty teams, because yeah, you might not get the consistent. You're not going to get that huge 25 point, but can you get a garbage time TD? And I'm like, yeah, you can. And that's why fantasy.
Especially like at the goal line,
Mhm.
like you know what I mean. It's like you can easy. That was my thinking when I think I picked, and we said this too. Like I waited to pick tight end because I knew that Hunter Henry was going to be way down low, like 12th, 11th, 12th round. I knew he was going to be there. But as a Patriots fan, you have a young quarterback, and your receiving core is not that great. It has since gotten better, but we didn't know that. But you're going to
Correct.
do checkdowns down to Henry, and Henry has been a very nice surprise for me this year, and somebody that is getting more and more of a relationship with Drake May, especially when Drake May needs to like get out of a situation. Although it was really Stephon Diggs on Sunday night, which wow, what I did not expect the Patriots to beat the Bills on the road, but
No one did. No one did.
here we are, and boy, did I have a great time. That was a big boy win by the New England Patriots. And somebody said it, it's like the Patriots have gone like to the bottom of the league. They've ended their dynasty and they've begun their rebuild, and they're trying to get back to where they should have been, right? In that entire time, Josh Allen has not yet made the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. So here's the funny thing.
Bills have not gone to the Super Bowl in that entire time that the Patriots went down to the bottom and then had to come back up, which has been years. I mean, obviously, it's been, what, pre-2020, I want to say, or
Well, the last time,
and
yes, if you're going to Tom Brady era, but
yeah,
Mac Jones, they did make the
I know
playoffs
Mac
in
Jones,
20, but they did make the
He
playoffs
did.
in 2021. So, I would say the last 4 years, because again,
yeah,
we can go on hindsight, but Mac Jones was the only QB in that class to take his team to the playoffs that year. And so a lot of people thought, oh shit, Mac Jones. And then, yeah, Belichick's like, well, let's try this crazy thing where my offensive guy's the defensive coordinator, my defense guy's the offensive coordinator, and basically fuck Mac Jones up. Now, again, I'm not saying Mac Jones is better than Drake May, but Mac Jones had potential, in a system. And I think that's why he's somewhat working with the Niners, because he does not need to carry the team. He has so many supporting characters. Though technically they were on their fourth and fifth receivers. So who knows? But that's why
he's working though.
yeah, that's all that matters. And that's why, but will he be like a Drake? No, Drake May has an arm. He can run. He just has to get shit. And yes, Stephon Diggs finally pulled together. But here's the crazy part. When we were making Super Bowl predictions, we both, I was like, I felt like the Eagles were like definitely, and I said they'll go back. And I'm like, they'll probably win. I just can't see an NFC team surprising them. But you said you were thinking, there might be the NFC surprise team this year. I think it's going to be an AFC surprise team. Soto, yeah, the Bills lost. I still think the Bills are heavily the favorite out of the AFC because look what the fuck happened to the Ravens. Ravens are 1-4. This elite
Look
night.
at the Chiefs.
Oh, I was getting to that. The Chiefs. Trevor Lawrence tripped twice. But Soto,
hilarious.
Now I know we're 5 weeks in. If the season ended now, Patriots have the 7th spot. They make the playoffs. Now again, we're very early. But here's the other thing: Jaguars, Colts, 4-1. I think the AFC is going to send that out of the blue team because again, Bills to me is still, yes, they lost to the Pats. Will that happen again? In playoffs? Who knows? But that gives the Pats confidence and like, okay, you're going to lose one, but you're right. Chiefs, no. Ravens, no. Chargers and Broncos. We've talked about the Broncos because
everyone's vulnerable. Like
everyone is
vulnerable. Like there isn't a clear cut great team in the AFC.
No.
As far as I'm looking at the field right now, like everybody has their weaknesses and everybody's vulnerable. I guess that's what the NFL wanted. But to me, the AFC is wide open. Shit, the fucking Jaguars are 4-1. Yep. And their defense is great. Like I honestly almost took your advice and benched my defense for the Jaguars. Because you're like, well,
if you have a 2-point lead and they're not playing anyone, like if the opposite team, played all 9 players, it's almost like, okay, yeah, but if you need it, you need it. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if you're up by 1 or 2, because you never know. But no, the Jaguars, these
never know. But they had a pick 6 against fucking this asshole.
Yeah,
and they actually scored me some points, and I'm gonna keep the defense is legit. Because their defense has been getting a lot of turnovers and takeaways. So I figured to myself, if my defense can get a touchdown, like that puts me in great position, to cover for my bullshit like fucking Jameson Williams and fucking whatever Calvin Ridley decides to fucking give me. But of course I fucking bench Calvin Ridley and he goes off for 15 fucking points. Best game of the year. I was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I can't win with my shit, but thankfully, I have Christian McCaffrey, and he is the wind beneath my wings right now. Oh my god! Imagine if I had picked Derrick Henry, because I was going to. I'd be in a much different position than I am right now.
Yeah, and it was CMC. Like I said, it's the only reason would be injury, and no, he's shown. Why? I think because I know, believe it or not, Patrick Mahomes has made the second most fantasy points out of everyone. I think it's CMC first. That's what I'm trying to find out right now. No, seventh overall. I don't know who might be first, but either way, it's like you said. I think last week with the Niners, like their offense runs through McCaffrey. So you have to like, and you can just sit that in. It's just like in my other league, I had Bijan Robinson. Now his bye week's over. I'm like, I can sit him in that running back, and I'm like, I don't need to worry unless injury.
You just let him there.
You just like good. Like in our league, Rome is back, and to me, Rome has stepped. The value I got at Rome, because I think I did not take Rome until the fifth or sixth round.
He was there
because because I took I did go a little crazy with Genty, but you know what? The last 2 weeks, Genty again has done well for me, so he's picking it up, which is good. And the Raiders have gotten better. I'm not going to say they're great, but they've gotten better. So yeah, I know that, but yeah, I like where Rome's at. I'm like, yeah, because Caleb Williams wants to make him. He wants that connection. He wants like, So I'm like, I had to. So yeah, Rome's my number one. But yeah, it's very interesting. And as we said before, Soto, Pittsburgh somehow always is in it. And now they're sitting at 3-1 on top of the division. Ravens has sucked ass. We knew the Browns would suck ass, and the Bengals obviously minus Joe Burrow. So yeah, Steelers are going to make the playoffs. Fuck.
Rodgers. Yeah,
I know. It hurts my heart.
It's going to be a mix for the AFC. The AFC is going to be. The AFC is kind of up for grabs. Mm-hmm. If I'm looking at everything right now, like, yeah, I know but I now have seen with my eyeballs that the Bills can lose.
Correct.
And like, I saw it. I spent all Sunday looking at it. Like, that was at home as well. So the Bills are vulnerable. I don't know, man. The Colts are a nice story. We'll see if they can maintain it. The Chargers have kind of fallen back a little bit.
Not much though.
The Chargers have lost 2 games in a row.
Yeah, maybe, but here's the thing. Well, now, but they lost their back for at least a week, maybe 2 weeks. So
Amarian, he's on the injured reserve for 4 weeks. Or no, not injured reserve. He's gone for 4 weeks.
Is it 4 weeks? Okay, I thought I saw a couple. I didn't think he was officially.
Everybody on the waiver wire is like jumping on the backups.
Yeah.
The Chargers right now, but it's from what I understand, and I have been fucked by the Chargers before in past years. Like, that might be a committee situation.
Oh, probably, yeah.
So I'm not sure. Like, I'm gonna fucking spend, because I think I'm number 3 right now on the waivers, and I don't think I'm gonna fucking spend my ranking for anything this week. I mean, as always, I need wide receiver help. I'm not looking for more running backs. I have 4 running backs for 2 spots.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit much. But I know I'm talking to the MASH unit over here, but I'm constantly thin on wide receiver. And it's just, there are no wide receivers in the waiver wire. It's like, it's going to have to be a trade, and hopefully I can snooker somebody who is 1-4 in our league, even to get me something like a Matthew Golden,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm gonna wait until after this the waivers tomorrow. See how all this plays out. Just see who gets what. Because usually that's a good time. All right, now I'll look into a trade. Because I'm with you. Like right now, I got Genty, Krosky Merritt's now actually taking over that lead role because they were doing a running back by committee. But after last week, I'm like, I gotta start Krosky Merritt this time around. But I also, I have Charbonnet, a Hubbard who may or may not return. But like you, it's like, all right, I got all these backs. I got to now kind of use it as a good trade value. But hell, I picked up Kendrick Bourne, and he got me 19 points without scoring a fucking touchdown. Think about that for a second.
Well, I didn't even realize how connected Bourne and Mac Jones are. And so when I think about that, I'm like, of course, like Bourne was his number 1 receiver on the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
That was a low-key fucking great move. The only issue is that, do you even have a quarterback now?
Well, all right. Well, so this week is going to be tough. Purdy should return.
Purdy, that's a quarterback controversy waiting to happen right there, man.
Yeah, no, there's a couple on I probably will play on the waiver wires. And we'll see. I'm not too worried about it. I am honestly more worried about my wide receivers. As long as if Purcell can play, I am good. Well, actually, if he can't, I still have Bourne. I'm not dropping Bourne yet. So
of course not.
I'm like, I can't.
Why would you? Just got you 19.
Well, I can't start him yet, but if like Purcell goes out, Yeah, that's like a quick swap. And I'm ready to drop the Buffalo defense only because, and I already picked up New England, and I think I sent you a text, but get Buffalo coming up. They play Atlanta by Carolina. That might be strong, but it's like KC, Miami. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, New England, I'm like, I'll kind of take this, because I'm like, here's their next. How about this? New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta,
Yeah.
Tampa Bay is probably their toughest one. Jets, Cincinnati, Giants, week 14 bye. I'm like, I can almost, and I probably will ride the Patriots for most until the
Why not?
playoffs will make it. The only thing I might look for is Tampa Bay because of your Baker Mayfield. I'm like, I'll see if I'll stream someone that week. That's the only week I'm like, ugh. But for the most part, I'm like, I can sit on them. And they've had some
Oh,
double
dude, you
digit
definitely
points.
can.
I mean, they got 5 points against Buffalo, so I'm good. Yeah, no, there's some QBs. Like I said, Mac Jones is still out there. There is a couple others, so most likely I'll get one, and I'm just gonna kind of put him on my bench. And Purdy goes out. Purdy goes out. I mean, I don't even care. I will pick up, Dylan Gabriel for all I care, just for a week because hell, I started Flacco, and Flacco won it for me. I shouldn't say he won it for me, but he did well enough. Then I did pick up Browning, which might have been a mistake, but there wasn't much. And then I quickly dropped him. I'm like, I had to take a chance. My ass was getting kicked that week anyways. And then, yeah, this past week, I started Wentz. But now he's on a bye week. So who knows? It's just the way it is. And I'll manage. I mean, I'm playing, I think, the worst person in our division. Got to be,
Well, yes,
but
but
he's got
Sean has scored a lot of points this year.
Yep, I know.
He is a dangerous 1-4. Him and I were texting about it earlier today. And I'm like, dude, your record is not indicative of how you are performing. Like he's gotten some fucking serious. His team is fucking solid, but he's bad luck. But Sean's team is like one of those teams that will be a problem like as the year goes on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
I would love to have that wide receiver depth. Are you kidding me? Garrett Wilson and Keenan Allen. I got nothing like that. I mean, I got lucky with George Pickens because CeeDee Lamb went out, but Jameson Williams has given me nothing. He's only had one boom week this week. And fucking Ridley, I start him, he scores no points. I bench him, he scores all the points. Like, I am going to say this right now, Chad, and I want you to remember this. Okay.
Okay, I am ready.
I want you to remember this at the drafts that we are next year. Okay. I never want you to forget this. You have to hold me to this.
I'm going to forget it, but okay, go ahead.
No. Do not ever let me draft him again. If I'm thinking about drafting him and Ridley is on the board, I want you to reference this conversation and be like, you told me to tell you to never do this ever again.
And you still will probably. You're like, well, it's the 9th round. It will be valued.
I will not. That's what got me in trouble this time. I was like, well, I mean, it's good value for where he fell. It's never a good value. This man curses my fantasy football lineups for the last 3 or 4 years. The only one that was worse was fucking Darnell Mooney.
Oh yeah, you did love your Mooney.
Thankfully, I don't have anything to do with Darnell Mooney. But next year, do not let me fucking draft Calvin Ridley. I don't care what the value is.
Okay.
Do not let me draft him.
Do not
the only time I can draft him is if he's like one of my last picks, like before kicker or defense. If he's there, I might think about it. But even then, I might just get 2 defenses. We'll see.
Yeah, that would be smarter, a backup QB, because that's been the problem we've been finding. It's like, all right, how do we slot this in? What can we do?
I already fucked up with Waller because Waller was my last pick this year, and I didn't think he was actually going to come back. But I didn't have anywhere to put him. But it would have been nice to have Waller as a backup tight end. Now we got Taysom Hill, who did have some throwing yards, which was actually kind of funny.
Well, I think that's the other reason I dropped Johnson too, because I know they activated their other 2 tight ends with him being injured. So I was like, But no, we'll see. It's actually a pretty interesting matchup. I have with Goddard. And now I noticed the points, and there's always, like in my other league, the number 1 guy has like almost like the 3rd lowest points. So it's like, yeah, it's good now. It gets you the playoffs, but come playoff time, like you kind
You
of
don't got
almost.
what it takes. Like I'm trying to average 100 points a week in our league. I think for a 16 team league where we are, like a successful week is 100 points.
Mm.
And you can tell, like, if you look at our league, like, there's some guys there's one guy that's only scored 407 points.
Damn.
Like, that is not, but he got screwed with injuries. I think that's like the CD Lamb owner and everything like that. It's like, I get it. Those are those years, but goddamn.
Yeah, I think last week I had almost 100. I think I was like, oh no, there. I'm looking at my worst week, 80 points. 80 points, but that's when I think a couple injuries, person went out, obviously Higgins. That was a rough week. 3 was a rough week for me. I'm kind of was backtracking. And that's hard. You have to yeah, I've had a few. I see your point. But 100 100's tough in our league. I will tell you
Holy
this.
shit, it's tough in our league.
Say what?
It's so tough in our league, 100 points. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
You get 100 points in my work league, you're losing. But that's just because it's 2 flex, 2 receivers, 2 this and that. So it's like
Is it full PPR?
It's also full PPR, correct?
Yeah,
Which
makes a big
obviously
difference.
helps.
But 2 flex though, I mean, I think that is the way to go. I don't know if I would do 2 QB, but 2 flex would just add so much more depth because then, I'd be more likely to chase after some of these running backs on waivers. But even if I get these running backs and I have nowhere to play them. Like there's a guy that picked up Rico Dowdle, who I also dropped, and he went off right for like 30 plus
30
points.
points. I picked them up in my guillotine league and just popped them in. So,
But like he just got those 30 points on somebody's bench.
oh, the guy didn't start him
Well, why would you?
because Hubbard was
I think that's
injured.
the thing with our
Hubbard
league.
was injured.
But if you
that
have
was
better
e-
options at running back,
No. With
like, if
Hubbard
you have-
injured,
if you have
Dowdle's a
better
1.
options, like,
No. With
Well,
Hubbard
okay, but-
injured, there is no. So I would tell you this. I would put Dowdle almost on the same level as on his own, point wise, with how Carolina runs that offense as CMC without Hubbard. Because once Hubbard went out, Dowdle should have been in everyone's lineup. I easily could have. That's why
now
yes.
I'm looking because now I want to see this guy's team. All right, so this guy who didn't start Dowdle,
All right,
his
which
running
team?
backs is this would be Fly Zone Charles. His running back is Devon A Chain.
Mm-hmm. And he has
Everybody's
Cook.
like starting. And he has Cook. Those are 2 great options. Where the fuck would you have put Rico Dowdle?
Honestly, well, I probably would. All right, I gotta think pre this because obviously hindsight with the way the Patriots game. Because to me, before obviously the Patriots beat him, I would have thought Buffalo might have got ahead and might have ran the ball a little bit more, towards the end. So Cook might have been a better option. I actually would have put Dowdle over A-Chain because I would figure Dolphins might
I
have
can
to
see that.
because again,
I can see that.
Dowdle was taking the majority of the snaps, and he has already proven which he did in Dallas. And he's, when he's the lead back, he gets points. So yeah, I would have put Dowdle. I would have just found a way. I might have even sacked Cook, but if I had to choose before, obviously because hindsight again, I would have figured, well, will probably get up a touchdown or 2 against Patriots because that's what Buffalo does in Buffalo, and they'll run it a lot towards the end. Obviously, knowing how that game ended, it was different. So. But Miami's just a dumpster fire. They do get, some of their players get points. You just never know who. And without Tyreek Hill. So, yeah, I mean, I would have been like, all right, they're playing the Chargers. Chargers are going to kind of light them up a little bit, and it's going to be a passing game. That would have been my thought going in. But the instant I saw Hubbard out, anyone that had Dowdle put him in. And so that does not surprise me that he got, 30. Yes. I mean, obviously that's a lot, but he definitely was going to put up double digits, and he would have been up there. It's like Charbonnet. If Walker goes out, he's going to get some points. He's an RB1. So I don't know. That's my opinion. Like I said, I luckily was able to get him in the Guillotine League, and I quickly just threw him in, and yeah, I survived another week. 9 players left. So
I can do.
Yeah, it was kind of, I don't know. It's kind of getting scary now because it's like, all right, because every time the best, these players are just falling off the board, and it's almost like now teams are becoming elite because you're picking up everyone's scraps. You're like, okay, well, I picked up Derrick Henry. Someone, I picked him up for like, I think I paid $50. I'm like, it's Derrick Henry. But yeah, it's not like now, you're playing off the waivers. You got to strategically spend the monies, but everyone's got top receivers, top, running backs. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I started Donald, and if Hubbard's still injured, I'll put Donald in again. Right now he's on my bench just because he's supposedly not. Well, he's not starting.
Do it again.
Hubbard, hell yeah. But Fly's on Charles, he's 5-0 in our league. So he might have also just picked that up as a defensive thing, just so the person he was playing wouldn't pick him up.
True.
So
that's definitely a move to do as well. I just think that I don't know, having fucking happy feet on the waiver wires. I'm trying not to, but yeah, next year, dude, I'm not drafting fucking Ridley. He's fucking ranked 165 this year. So Jameson Williams ranked 173, Calvin Ridley 165. Like, my options of the bench are not much better. Like, fucking dude, Tyquan Thornton is ranked 84. He's sitting on my fucking bench.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why the fuck I'm not starting Tyquan Thornton. I mean, I get it. Like, with Xavier Worthy coming back, it was going to take away reps, but he's still producing. He's still a target for fucking Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. And if you look at next week, they're playing Detroit, which will end up being a shootout a bit. Las Vegas, and Washington. Yeah, so, by then, though, you basically are going to have one more week left of Tyquan Thornton. And that looks like when kind of people are coming back. And then you got Warren. That's the... Yeah. I would say right now, you're right. I would start looking at trades for receivers. I know you...
I have to. I got McCaffrey, and I got some good shit, but receivers right now are thin as fuck, and it's gonna bite me in the ass, especially with the buys coming up. Because I used to think to myself, way back in the day, that week 8 was so far away. It's fucking 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's 2 weeks from now. Week 8 is upon us. Okay, it's not really upon us. Okay, but it's fucking 4 more movies. If we're measuring this on the weekly challenge, that's 4 movies from now.
4 more movies.
Holy shit!
What am I gonna do 4 movies? Yeah.
Shit.
Well, I tell
4
you,
movies from now. That sounds like forever.
I'm always looking at waivers, and just again, like I said, after whatever happens from tonight and tomorrow, I'll just kind of take a look. There's really not much more in the injury wise. Then I'm gonna see. I always look next week, okay, when's my next buy? What do I need to fill in? Because I'm like, let me get it. I'd rather get it a week or 2 early than try and scatter and figure it out that week. I got lucky with Kendrick Bourne. 19 points, and if he starts again, he's there. I thought Malik Washington might have done a little bit more for Miami, being their second receiver, but he did shit. But as I said with the Dolphins, I'm like, who knows? Who knows what the Dolphins are doing? But it's tough. And you guys survive. Now it's the surviving your buys and injuries. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But now Rome's back, and barring injury, I can just slot him in, and one of my receivers are set the rest of the season. Because there's no reason for me not to sit Rome. He's only getting better and better. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck this shit, man.
It's just an
That's all I have to say about fantasy. I'm not feeling bad about things. It's just that it's just fantasy is just worry. Do you not worry? Do you feel you feel worried all the time, right? That's what it is week in, week out. It's I just feel worried about my team.
Well, we had a full podcast about this, how fantasy football equals anxiety. And it goes in stages. So right now we're in the waiver stage because obviously Tuesday going to Wednesday, the waiver wire.
Yeah.
Okay. You said yourself you're not wasting your number 3 pick, which is smart because I don't think there's anyone that would, unless you had a need. If you're like, shit, I am definitely out. Right. That's obviously you spend it, but I'm like, all right, save it. And I'm trying to look. Let's put it this way: wide receiver, the top wide receivers going on right now. So speaking of Miami, the Westbrook Ikine, who's the 3rd receiver. You got Pierce, who's just come off an injury, and Turpin for Dallas. So it's like, do you really want to waste a waiver wire at any of those 3? And tight end. The only tight end is the one I dropped, Juwan Johnson. He's kind of up there because obviously he can produce. It's just the last few weeks he hasn't. So but he's playing New England, so Spencer Rattler could just be dumping it off. But again, do you want to waste waiver 3 for him? No. So I would hold it and just, if something happens, again, even if it's like a running, I know you're falling running backs, but if somehow like Dottle fell back and he all of a sudden he was starting, yeah, you almost have to because you can pop him in and McCaffrey and him, shit, that'd be like 60 points for you.
Right.
Depending who they play. But it's tough. And so yeah, then it's like tomorrow, so after this, like, okay, I'll just go through the league, like what's set? Okay, what do I now need? Because I will tell you, like I'm set with the Pats defense, and if for some reason, because I have the Buffalo, I am going to probably drop them. But if my one waiver wire doesn't go through, it's like, what can I get for value out of Buffalo? And if that Juwan Johnson's still there, I'm like, well, let me get a backup tight end. So yeah, then it's like, okay, after tomorrow, it's like I have no worries until the games start, and then the games start, you just look and you're like, okay, points. Funny thing is, I felt confident. It's in my matchup I had in our league. This going in this week, I'm like, I feel like I can win this one, and I thought I was going to lose my work. I ended up losing both. I'm just happy I survived my guillotine, but all of a sudden, the person I played, they just went off. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I need Buffalo to get like 29 points. It ain't happening, but I was like, fuck. Which is good.
It did not happen.
But I didn't have to worry. It's like, okay, Sunday night, I was like, I'm done. And like, I kind of even knew before the Pats Bills game, like, there is no way. Like, Pats aren't going to have that kind of meltdown. And I'm like, all right, I lost. And then that's when I can shut off my brain for a couple days because I didn't have to worry about it last night because I'm like, well, there's not much more I can do. I've lost and I lost. And then today, yeah, I was like, okay, what can I pick up? So, no, it is anxiety, but you just take it in stride.
What it is every week.
Yeah. And that's
I don't know if I'm taking it in stride, man. I don't know. Trading is so like I'm like, should I trade to trade? Because like Chase Brown, I guess I could use him as a trade, but what if I need him?
So
I don't know. It's so
well. That's so. Because let me look. All right, hold on a second. Let me get to your team here. Let's value. So sorry, so I'm kind of going back.
Because if I did like, for example, if I did like Chase Brown for like Tyler Warren, right? Like, what would you think about that trade?
Hold on, I don't know. Because you're so McCaffrey's. Hold on, McCaffrey's a week 14 buy. Sorry, Scatterbro is a. All right, so here's going to be a problem when you get to week 14. Both Scatterbro and McCaffrey is on bye. Yes. Warren should be kind of coming back a little bit. So you got Warren, who actually Pitt Sailors. You don't even have to worry about a bye with Warren because they just came off a bye. So he's set for you. So, but again, barring injury, I'm just looking at Chase Brown has a week 10 bye. But now here's the thing, and here's something for you to think about. So let's take a look, because obviously you're not getting rid of McCaffrey or Scatterbro, which I wanted. Not one little bit.
I love Scatterbro.
But I would definitely not, get rid of either one of them. But here comes the real question: who would you rather have? Would you rather keep Chase Brown or would you rather keep Warren?
I mean, both.
But let me ask you: if you had to get rid of one, like who would you, if you had to get rid of one, like who would you rather keep on your team?
I would probably lean towards getting rid of Chase Brown because I do feel like, Aaron Rodgers is in his check down era of his life, and I think that Jaylen Warren has a lot of upside when it comes to receptions. I know Chase Brown is going to get them from Joe Flacco too, but I think that Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Joe Flacco at this stage of their careers.
So now you've kind of answered your own question, which I was going to bring. Joe Flacco signed with the Bengals. Yeah, it's not lighting up. Chase Brown just got more value. Meaning, okay.
Yes.
So now you got to look, if I were, after, starting tomorrow, just be like, find that receiver. Put Chase Brown out there. Because someone that's 1-4, 0-5 might give you a decent receiver. Because that's where, I get the tight end going for a guy like Warren. But like I said, you have Henry. You're fine. Mm-hmm. You could fill in, the 1 week Henry's on bye. You just find whoever, and you can just slide it in. Like,
yeah, because it's like because it's like zero anyways, or it's like this guy right here, 0-5. Let me take a look at his Shiitake. This guy, who does he have for running back? Is Pollard and Travion Henderson. But if I take a look at his wide receivers, he's got Rashid Shaheed. Okay, that might be some value.
Yeah, because you get some
On the Saints.
Yeah,
And then so I could be like, hey, like, would you
that,
Chase Brown for Rashid Shaheed?
yep,
And that would solve his
running back problem because
although
he
would
hold
he
on.
would not have
Who are
any
you
wide
looking at real quick? I'm sorry. What's the name of the team?
I'm looking at New Haven Ninjas.
Ninjas. All right.
Because he's about to get Christian Watson back from IR anyway.
Yeah, but so hold on, I'm kind of looking.
And he's got CeeDee Lamb.
He's got
back
so
too.
that's so, and he's got Bowers coming back. So who?
Chase Brown would give him a little bit more kind of oomph, especially on the flex, because not.
Here's now because the hard part is looking at where he's at, and he's got Addison on bye this week. So odds are, I will tell you this: he probably won't do the trade this week because he's going to need Shaheed.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If he had Addison, here's the other thing: would you take Addison? Addison's been doing double digits the last couple of weeks since he's been back, and now he's on bye, so you wouldn't even have to worry about a bye for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's had some good production last couple of weeks. Yeah, and he's on bye. Yeah, I have had Jordan Addison on my teams before, and it's borne fruit.
Yeah. Because there's no way he's trading CeeDee Lamb. For that. And I'm just looking, and yeah,
I need an upgrade on. Yeah, right, and you're right. I would trade for Addison, and he'd be on a bye, and so that would get rid of one of my wide receivers.
You can slot him in. Yeah, because like I said, I mean, he could if everyone CeeDee Lamb comes back, fully healthy.
He's got too many fucking wide receivers.
But Watson, but the two he's starting, if you look at like his two that he's starting, they're not confident. Like he's got Bond from Cleveland, Brown from. My point is, he's going to slot in CeeDee Lamb, and yes, when Watson does return, but is Watson even going to? Like I said, I might try Chase Brown straight up for Addison, and then that way it solves your wide receiver problem, and it gives him a running back. Because Henderson, who knows, and Pollard, obviously Spears is coming back, so who knows? And they're on a shitty team, so Pollard has been producing up until so that's the other thing. Pollard's been doing okay.
I mean, it gives him an upgrade from Travion Henderson. That's correct. For sure.
And if he values, if he's like, well, Joe Flacco, he's going to check down. Maybe you get it. You get that trade in before like, oh shit, something happens. I mean, injury aside for either one, but I'm like, yeah, Joe Flacco could shit the bed. But right now, I think a lot of people who have Bengals players are like, all right, this is an upgrade. You're giving them hope. So this happening. It's the best time to trade Chase Brown. Be like, hey, listen, and then if he's like, no, what's worse? Maybe he comes back and he's like, well, do you want? Like I said, I would even take Shaheed for Chase Brown straight up because Shaheed's been. I'm kind of looking at his. I mean, yeah, he's
ranked 83 this
83.
Season.
He just had almost a 20-point performance, and then he's got some good matchups. But he's won his lowest has been 6.2, which again is better than what you're probably gonna get off waivers. So. Personally, I'm with you. I would probably get rid of Chase Brown because now with what happened with Flacco, his value went up. Just in the eyes, since some people might wait, but with this trade, you're not going to get Shaheed this week because he needs him. But Addison being on a bye, you're like, well, I'll take, he might like, well, I can slot Chase Brown in, and I'm not losing anything with Addison anyway. So give it a shot. See what happens. What he does off waivers tomorrow. And then just, send him a trade. But Pollard's going to go down a little bit. And Henderson, I don't know. The Patriots running backs I would stay away from for a while. It's going to be hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's just.
All right. So I think that's a good trade to have. You don't think I should probably swing it pre-waiver or after waivers?
Actually, you could probably do it now. I mean, it's not going to affect anything. You just don't know what he's doing. Again, it doesn't hurt. I was just going to say after waivers, but fuck it, you can put it. I mean, it ends tomorrow, whether you do it tonight or tomorrow morning. So see what he says, and you know what? Maybe he'll want Warren, and then you'll have to decide that. Like, okay, well, who am I? Maybe you do trust, but if you're in receiver help,
or maybe he gave up.
That could be too. That could be too.
And he's like, I'm not doing trades because I'm looking at the trade right now, so I could send him Chase Brown, because Chase Brown's value is not his perceived value is not going to be any higher than it is right now. I could get away with a Jordan Addison situation there.
I think you could.
Um,
And he's 0
and then
five,
that helps.
or
Oh, that's not a trade that screws.
either one
It's a
of
trade
you.
that helps both of us.
Correct. And, I mean
And those are my favorite contenders.
I mean, it's because and Chase Brown is probably going. I think it's the best running back he's going to have. I mean, I hate to say it because, like I said, Pollard, I feel like is starting to trend down, and Henderson, yeah, it depends on Stevenson and all that. Whatever. Chase Brown just gives him more stability. So, like I said, I mean, if I needed a running back and I had extra in Addison, so the only thing you might lose is like, well, if he keeps CeeDee Lamb, he keeps Addison and Shaheed. Like he's like, well, I want those three. Then not much you can do. But he's 0-5 or whatever, so it's like he needs to do something. But that's how I look at it.
Yeah, because I have them. So right now, as I'm looking at it, seasonal differential, which is projected, which I don't buy into this projection shit.
No.
But this is pretty much looking like a 50-50. He has a need, I have a need, and I think this helps both parties. He's 0-5. He can reject me if he wants to be an asshole, but
well, yeah,
I think that this helps both of us.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's not much you can do if he does reject you. Yeah, I'm just
gonna, you know what? I'm gonna float it out there. Send trade proposal. The worst thing could happen is say no, right?
Yeah, I mean, I said no to someone, and then I kind of
we just did a trade live, everyone.
We did.
Trade proposal live.
So I don't know if I told you this. So remember how I kind of put in our chat, like Charbonnet, like I put in the three, and now I'm not trading Krosky Merritt, but I'd be like, hey, just give me some offers. Well, someone wanted Charbonnet, but they wanted to give me Troy Franklin. And I know Franklin had one great game early in the season, but I wasn't feeling it for Charbonnet because I'm like, God, I feel like Charbonnet is just more of a value right now because he might even take over that. Right now they're split. So I denied that
Charbonnet
trade.
keeps getting all the touchdowns, right? Like, doesn't he keep getting the touchdowns?
Right now it's 50-50. I think Charbonnet is very much, well, he kind of ran more, but he's always, in past seasons, came in for like passing downs. But Walker dominated, but now it's kind of getting more 50-50. Yeah, Charbonnet, yeah, he got me, I think, 8-9 points last week. I don't know. I'm trying to remember how he did. But anyhow, so yeah, he said Franklin for Charbonnet, and I wasn't fully feeling it. So I'm like, what about Algier? Because I felt like that was closer because Algier comes in for Bijan Robinson, and he denied it. So, yeah, right now, yeah, he got me 11 points. He's done 11-11 the last 2 weeks. But the 2 weeks before that, he had 0-1. I think he was injured for week 3, but he had 1. So, and yeah, no, his value's going up. I don't know. Did he score a touchdown last week? I don't know. I don't think I can pull that up. Fuck it, but 11.3. But I still lost. So it doesn't matter. I don't know. How much? I'll probably start going through people who have receivers and just be like, hey, what about this person? What about this person? But to me, like, yeah, Chase Brown for Addison, that helps you out and that helps him out. And what do you have to lose? You don't have to worry about receiver. So.
Yeah, because then my receiver, now I have a buy fill-in. Because right now it's like, and it classes up my receiver room a little bit. From the Jameson Williams and the Calvin Ridleys of the world, it gives me something a little bit more stable, even if it's not huge, while still maintaining my running back depth. Again, I think that this is one of those. I think those are the best trades, right? I think that, in any trading or any business negotiation that I've ever been a part of, I do believe that everybody has to feel like they won a little bit.
Correct. They gotta get something out of it.
Right. Like, people are always trying to go, oh my God, I'm gonna screw this guy and blah blah. It's like, no, you have a mutually beneficial trade, right? Helps both of your teams. And if anything, it builds a relationship moving forward too, being like, oh, okay, this is a guy I can go to and he won't screw me. Like, we will have fair trades for what we're looking for. We'll both get better in their own ways. But like, so many people are trying to, I get, it hasn't happened yet this year in this league. I get some hilarious shit thrown my way. And I'm just like, what? Why would I do that? And it's like I feel bad saying no because, like, it's my people pleaser mentality, I guess. But like sometimes I get trades and I'm like, are you kidding me with this? Like, do you think that I'm dumb? This league that we're in right now, like, I'd say probably 8, 9 years ago was really dumb. Like, I'm talking people were drafting defenses in the 5th round.
Oh,
Okay,
gee,
like it was
no,
really dumb. It
no.
was one of those leagues. It is way better now. Like you could see that there are guys on here who know what they're doing, and of course, people get bad luck. But our league is so much better now than it used to be. People outside of like and I made fun of Sean, the guy you're going against, because of his draft picks. He was drunk on draft night. He was texting me. Because I was like, what year is this? Because he picked like some guy that was fucking retired. And I was like, this is 2025, right? But, I thought his Garrett Wilson pick was stupid. I was wrong. Garrett Wilson has been fantastic this year. I thought his Keenan Allen pick was 5 years too late. Keenan Allen has been fantastic this year. So I don't know. I don't know about anything about fantasy football, man. That's what in 6 weeks or going into my 6 week right now, and you tell me different, but I still feel like I'm as clueless as I've ever been.
No, you're not wrong, but at the same time, it's tough. It's tough just because you can't really call it. It changes every year because, yeah,
Yeah.
people get smarter, but at the same time, it's like you don't know who's going to get injured. You just got to play it safe, and
No.
it's going from PPR to half PPR to just
Yeah.
percentage and this. You just got to learn how to play. Like just from me doing this draft with the 3 receivers, 16 teams. Like okay, next year, I know how I'm going to draft and what I'm actually going to do my first 5 rounds. Then I'm going to look for everything else. I'm like, I ain't going to fall for this shit. I mean, like, because you took Chase Brown in the 2nd round. I will be honest. I was like,
He was
damn,
there.
he was there,
He was
and having
great
those,
value.
yes, but not. Then I was worried about your receivers because now you're looking at the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round for receivers.
Yes, that was a mistake I made. Yep.
But yeah, I think next year I'm gonna. I won't have a problem with the 2 RB mentality at first, but I'm like, I'm not even going to look for anything else. It's running back, wide receiver. It's like by the end of the 6th round, when the 6th round's done, my goal is to have 4 receivers, 2 running backs. I don't care how it happens. And then I'll worry about QB, tight end, because a lot of people, because then I'm like, unless there's a very good value on a handcuffs or something where like I'll take the chance. But you can almost go 7 and 8 for your QB tight end, and then you're done. You're just filling your bench. Defense, 2nd to last round, maybe 3rd to last round if you get one of the more elite defenses. That's about it. But you can stream that. Kickers last. Anyone that takes a kicker outside of the last round, that's not unless it's a joke. And you're like, I'm going to take this guy because his name is funny. Okay, I get it.
What are you doing? That's how I pick mine. I pick mine by being like, I like this guy's name. And then, the season will start and I'll kind of like sort by who's got the most points so far. And if I see somebody available, I'll drop mine and I'll get the guy who's got the most points. That's all I do for kickers. I mean, kickers are fucking or whatever to me. And defenses, I picked Jacksonville against the Kansas City Chiefs and I still made positive points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That team was out there and I'll ride Jacksonville until I don't know. People you're right. You got to load up on the wide receivers. That I do as much as I appreciate getting Scatterbro. Having like wide receivers in the 200s. I mean, if Christian McCaffrey got injured in the first game this year, I'd be 0-5.
Yeah,
that's how I'm living. Because Chase Brown didn't give me anything, and or maybe 1-4 at the best. Maybe I can squeak something out, but I would be an 85 point team. You got to have a superstar that drives your shit that you can count on to be like 15, 20 points. That's the engine. Everything else you can figure out, but yeah, like I'm gonna go way more wide receiver depth next year because there's too many fucking running backs are a dime a fucking dozen. There's so many running backs out there right now. Like you can't even put them on there, and then they get injured every 2 seconds. So then you have a handcuff on a handcuff on a handcuff. So what happened with the Cardinals? It was Connor got his ACL, and then Benson went out for the year too.
Yep, and then their third running back decided to drop the ball right before the end zone and fuck things up, and they so the Titans
Yeah.
came back to win
There are
that game.
people that wasted their waiver wire claims on him.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like everybody always wants the hottest thing on waivers. And as the season goes on, it gets less and less in there, like that the hottest thing is going to be there. It's just not a thing. You got to catch on it quick. You've caught fire. You were patient with Bill Krosky Merritt, and he looks like he's going to be the real deal. But sometimes it takes a little bit for these guys to warm up. But like you were talking about with Jamar Chase at the end of the year, like you want to be the guy with the hottest people at the end, because that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
If you get to the playoffs and your guys are hot, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're cruising to the championship.
Yeah, 100%. And that's all you fucking need. So, so Soto, kind of looking at this week's games before we kind of end this. I will say, Monday night, I'm going to be reliving trauma from last year because the Chicago Bears, my Bears, are playing the Washington Commanders. And that, if you remember last year, the whole NFC North was like, they were like two teams, if you remember, because it was 5 weeks in, two teams were 5-0, and two teams were like 4-1. Like, it was stupidly insane. Or maybe 3-2. I don't remember. It was just the NFC North, top to bottom, looked like, oh shit, anyone. And obviously we know how to play it out. And then, but the infamous Hail Mary. And the Bears did not win a single game until the final game of the season. So
yeah.
So yes,
that was a negative.
That was just, and it was just like, Eberflus left town, got kicked out of town, everything just happened. So that's the late Monday night game. We'll say, but this game
would have. The Bears.
They should, but it's in Washington, so we'll see. Caleb has gotten better, and as long as Ben Johnson keeps that offense going,
yeah, I like the Bears.
Then like Lions and Chiefs, 3 weeks ago, I'd been like, damn, this would be a game.
Prime time game.
It is Sunday. That's Sunday night. We'll see if KC backs up. Niners and Bucks. 49ers are 4-1. 49ers are 4-1. And mine is Brock Purdy
because
and
Mac Jones is 3-0.
Yes.
I just want to say that Mac Jones is 3 wins worth of those 4 wins. Just FYI. Guy's got balls, man. Mac Jones has balls. He does. He had great balls in that last game, and people again. He's very respectful, and professional, saying that Brock Purdy is the dude. But Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones, and if Brock Purdy, they say is a system quarterback. Mac Jones, if he's in the right system, dude, I don't know. He could do things.
He can. He's
on your waivers. You should stash him.
It depends where it falls. We'll see what happens. I have my bids in, and if I get him, I get him because at least it's a backup to Brock Purdy. So no matter what, it's like I don't have to worry. So we'll see. I will say my waiver is just basically QBs, and I'll leave it at that.
All right.
And
waivers for me this week.
I want it, not for you, because you're number 3 in none of those ways. I think I'm like 6 or 7. And I just like Brock Purdy should return, but I'm like, I'd rather just have a little insurance and go from there.
Yeah.
So let me ask you real quick before we go, because you did a trade live on the air, and I'm going to debate this.
I sure did.
Because I don't know about this player yet. I'm still iffy on him. I actually have him on my other league, but he's sitting on my bench now, but I don't know where this team's going. What are your honest thoughts about Matthew Golden? Mr. Packer receiver.
Matthew Golden is a lot worse than you think, and his numbers are not going to get any better with Watson coming back.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Golden's ranking, I think, is like, if you check his rankings, he's
242.
Now, of course, yeah. So of course they just had a bye, so that doesn't help him out. But it ain't going to get better with Watson. And to be quite honest, Golden was kind of like a stash. He's a rookie, right?
Yes, I think he's a rookie or a second year.
He's not as bad as he hasn't not worked out like my Dante Thornton Jr. stash hasn't worked out, but Golden hasn't had a great start to the year. Because I was looking at a team that had him on the bench.
He just put him as a starter. As we were talking, his team just moved around. I will say this because I was looking at that too. Because I'm like, I'm trying to.
Did you really?
I too am trying to look at teams with receivers because I'm not gonna mess around. Like, I'll be honest. If I had something better than Chase Brown, I would probably throw out a trade for Addison as well. I'm like, I'm not going to step on Soto's shoes, but I'm like, I don't think because the only two I can offer is Charbonnet and then Hubbard. Because now that Krosky Merritt has stepped up, almost Hubbard's like, I can almost sit Hubbard a little bit, but we'll see. I might still hold on Hubbard, but I'm like Charbonnet.
Well, the thing is though, like now you can trade Bill because people will want to trade for him, right? Like, wouldn't that be more?
I still need that strong flex right now. I'm looking at his Bill, especially because here's the other thing: Jaden Daniels just finally came back last week, and that could have been why Krosky Merritt had problems the week before, and not just the committee. So to me, as of right now, because Gentry's going to be my main running back, I have to ride or die him to the end. Like I wasted I did the first round.
Yeah,
there's
you sure did.
But right now, I'm like,
it's ride or die at this point.
Krosky Merritt is my flex. Because I'm like, I almost now will put him higher than Hubbard.
Oh, flex.
Because, the Commanders are obviously more of a playoff team. They're going to be more, with Jaden Daniels, they can do things out of the backfield. And they might have some leads. And guess what? The Commanders are playing the Bears. Gentry got 30 points against the Bears, and my Bears still won. So I was happy on both ends. I was like, oh shit, Gentry just got me 30 points and my Bears won? Fuck, this is a great Sunday. So
that's the best right there.
I feel like Krosky Merritt now has more value to the end of the season than Hubbard. But having the three running backs, like you said, once I get through all the buys, I can swap. But Charbonnet, it's like unless Walker goes out, I don't know. So I still have, I could trade Krosky Merritt and get a decent receiver. But now I might
if you could get that owner to give you Golden for cheaper than you'd want to get Golden for. Does that make sense?
Maybe.
I know we just talked about making fair trades, but like he's liable to get snookered without knowing that he's getting snookered.
But what would I give up? Do I give up a Charbonnet? Or do I? Because the only other, what's on my bench? I have Algier, which to me, there's no way he could take that trade, but Algier does, like I said, for Bijan.
He's not an RB1. Like you wouldn't trade Golden for. Yeah, because he's starting Golden.
He is right now.
So he needs him to play, right?
Hold on, let me go back. I kind of who was Golden on?
If you're starting Golden, you've got
he was on the bench and he just swapped him out. I'm just trying to find out what team had Golden. Was that?
That was the Midnight Express.
Right. Sorry, I got it. Yeah, so who did he just sit? He just sit. I don't even know who he sat, how that went. Did he sit? Yeah, so he needs Golden. Because right now he's got Zay Flowers, Xavier Worthy. But the thing is, he's got McBride and Warren. He's got a tight end in his flex. But yeah, he needs insanity. Golden. He needs Golden. Because I think he had Michael Wilson in there from the Cardinals. So, I don't know. I'm kind of looking. I'm like, where can I get can I get a trade? The hard part is like the Rudy Poos needs fucking receivers. I'm like, I can't even trade with this guy.
Everyone fucking needs receivers. That's why you're like, hey, I got all these running backs. I just need a receiver, and people are like, I don't need a running back.
Oh, I got trade. But someone was going to give me a receiver for Charbonnet. I just did not feel like it. I felt like I had more value out of Charbonnet than what he was giving me. And I was kind of
what receiver was it?
Franklin, from Denver.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because Charbonnet, again, he's getting TDs.
He is. And yeah, it's because
is Franklin getting TDs? Like, no.
No, Franklin's very low. He's like his highest game. Like I said, he had one second week against Indy, he had 20 points. But he's been averaging 7, which 7's still not bad, but I'm like, I need more. But yeah, Troy Franklin. So yeah, I rejected it and then I kind of said, hey, what about Algier for him? Because I'm like, he wasn't starting Franklin anyways, and he rejected that, so that just became dead. So I don't know.
You just RB2. Like Algier doesn't get.
Algier's got double. He does though. He's got double digits the last 2. Well, not this past week because of a bye, but he's had double digits. I don't know, and then we'll see. If Purcell starts, I'm good. Otherwise, I slot in Kendrick Bourne, and I'm gonna hope. But we'll see. So I'm not too worried. Like my starters are my starters right now, and there's not much more I'm going to change because I put in Krosky Merritt as my flex because he's playing Chicago, better matchup. Even if Hubbard's playing Dallas, which isn't a bad matchup for him, but he's still questionable. So we'll see. Oh, but anyhow, Soto, anything you want to add before we end this?
No, I'm just so happy for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm so happy for everything that they're doing, and yeah.
Keep doing more.
Although they could easily come out, they could easily come out of the AFC, as we talked about earlier. Like there's nobody in the AFC, and after the Philadelphia Eagles loss, I don't know. I feel like the NFC is the stronger conference. Let's just go. That's my final take.
I do not disagree with that. 100%. And the Eagles are playing Giants on Thursday. So, yeah, that should be a blowout. I'm sorry. Scatterbro will be
Classic.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, that'll do it. Week 6. Hopefully, we'll come back for week 7. See how we did. See if anything we said was correct.
Yeah.
And then we got some interesting matchups going forward. So. But yeah, no, we'll see how the waivers go. Let me know if that trade goes through, though. I'm very curious. I feel like that's actually a reasonable trade. So I just want to see if that guy accepts it.
Maybe he'll be countered. He'll be like, "Oh, I want Scatterbro instead," and
Ooh,
I'll be like, "Oh,
I don't know if I would give up Scatterbro."
Because
you're not hurting though.
Dude,
yeah, but you're not hurting for that yet. Like you're 3-2, so. If you were
if you wanted Scatterbro, then I'd be like, give me Shaheed, and I would think about it.
Oh, that's true.
I would up it. I'd be like, okay, cool, give me Shaheed.
Yeah, let me know. We'll just leave it at that. All right, well that'll do it. That'll do it for us. And we'll be back next week.